Hi everyone, it's Christy. So a few days ago, my coworker Cheryl, she dropped off in my mailbox a whole jar of wine bottle corks and left a note saying, you're pretty crafty, you should figure out what to do with these. And so all morning I kind of tried to figure out what can I do with a whole bunch of wine bottle corks, and then it dawned on me, let's make stamps with them. And so today I bring you the craft cork bottle stamps. This is a lot of parent prep because it does involve an Exacto knife, but once you've prepped all of your stamps, your children can go to town and create pictures or names or words or whatever with these little creation stamps. And so like here's an example. I have a heart, and they can go ahead, and I'm just gonna move my camera back a little bit. You can use this heart stamp and put it in some ink or even some paint, and then decorate paper or a box or whatever they want, and make a whole bunch of really cool pictures with stamps. So how do we make these? Okay, well, you're gonna need a whole bunch of wine bottle corks, a Sharpie marker, and an Exacto knife. Please be careful, this is sharp, and children probably should not be doing this. Maybe your teens can, but this is mostly an adult preparation part, and then your children can decorate later. So maybe this is something that you can do like when they go to bed. I don't know. Okay, so what do we do first? So you're gonna take your cork and your Sharpie, and you are going to draw a shape or a letter, or I've done animal tracks, and you can draw them onto your cork. I usually use the flat side, not the side that had been broken by the wine bottle opener, just because it's flat and the cork isn't broken. And so I'm just gonna do a star. So I'm gonna draw a star onto this cork head. I'm gonna kind of fill it in too. All right, so I drew my star. You always want to do simple shapes, because if you do like a flower or, I don't know, a spiral, it gets really complicated with all of the different angles or the holes, and then you're gonna have to have a little bit more time and just figure them out. I've done also letters. I did pretty much all 26 letters of the alphabet. And if you want to do letters, that's great. They take a little bit of time, especially like for like an O or a B, because there's like the parts in the middle that you have to remove. Also with letters, make sure you're doing them backwards, because if you do it the regular way, when you go to stamp, they end up going backwards. I can't tell you how many times I did the letter S. I kept doing it wrong. So make sure you do letters backwards. Okay, so I've made my design, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to move my camera a little bit closer to me. You're going to then cut directly into the cork by outlining your shape. So I'm just going to kind of keep the cork standing on the table, and I'm going to directly cut into up and down and pretty much outline my entire shape. Okay, I'm just going to do one side to make this kind of a little bit faster for all of you. And what I really like about simple shapes is that you can just kind of, cut little pieces, and then you can remove as you go. So I've gone ahead and I've outlined I've outlined 2 points of the star, and I've cut directly into it, and I've outlined the shape. So I'm cutting around that positive space where I drew, and I'm going to now remove all that negative space where I didn't draw, okay? So in order to remove that negative space on your cork, after you've outlined your shape, you're going to then cut perpendicularly into the cork where it's just a little bit below the actual top of the cork. And then you're just gonna kind of cut into it to where like you're able to remove pieces of the cork. So now I've pretty much removed some, and now there's like a little bit of a dent, or there's now like nothing there. So when we go to stamp, all that will catch on the ink is just the top shape that you made. So I'm going to do a few more sides to kind of show you what I mean. And please be careful when you cut, because Exacto knives are really sharp, and I definitely pricked my finger earlier and I had to get a Band-Aid. So go slow, and please be careful. And sometimes you might have to remove just a little bit more layer to make like that shape more defined when you go to stamp. So like the shape should be very high compared to what you peel away. Let me just do the rest of this shape so you can see. And I just kind of go slow to go fast because you don't want to get cut. A little bit more. So you cut into it to remove that negative space. One more side. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've now removed all of that negative space around the shape that you drew, because now when you look at it profile wise, you can see that the shape is now elevated compared to the rest of the cork, and that's your stamp. So now once you've created your shapes, you can then have your child use paper and paint or stamps, and they can make pictures with the stamps you made. Good luck, please be careful, and enjoy.